I'm going to start all over. welcome, powerful souls. Welcome to Wake Up Wednesday Live. I am Lori Micah. I am the host of the Lori Micah YouTube channel. I am so excited to be here with you. As always, this show is about you. I kick it off to get things going, but I want to hear from you. You are welcome to ask me any question. You can ask me questions about any spiritual topic that you would like to hear about. You can ask me questions about any of the guests that I've had on the show, any of the topics that they've covered. You can ask me about my series that I did called Uncover Your Soul's Purpose, What You Don't Know Is Holding You Back. I am open to anything. I'm also open to personal questions. It doesn't matter. I'm here for you. Because YouTube names do not always match your name, please do put your name in the comments because I want to get to know you. And I'd really like to address you by your real name. So please make sure you're doing that. So sorry for the snafu in the beginning. We're going to start with signs and synchronicities. I started doing this on my lives because I feel like one of the premises of having this show is to help people understand that death is not the end. And what I love about signs and synchronicities is I feel like it is the universe's way of winking at us. We can get confirmations, we can get answers to questions. And my spirit team is super creative in how they work with me. They don't usually just send me one thing, they send me something that's in a combination with another thing. And when I share these, it's my hope that you understand how signs are working for me, and it makes it easier for you to hear your signs and see your synchronicities. And when I share mine, I feel like mine confirm yours and yours confirm mine because sometimes we don't have anybody who we can really share these with who would really understand and believe that somebody is communicating with us from the other side. But what I can tell you in my spiritual journey, especially since 2012 after I lost Mark, is that love never dies. Our loved ones hear every word that we say. Think about this. When your loved ones die, they go through a life review and they experience every single moment they ever had with you. They relive it from their vantage point, and then they become you and they relive it from your vantage point. And when they're done, they know you better than they ever could have known you while you were here having this earthly relationship with them. How special is that? Anything that was left unsaid is not unsaid anymore. They love you, they know what's going on in your lives, and they want to give you signs. So all you have to do is ask to be open to it. I know sometimes it can be frustrating if you want them and you haven't been getting them, but you just have to figure out how your spirit team can work with you. And one of the ways that my spirit team works with me is with songs. So I want to share something that happened. So for those of you who have been with me for a while, you might remember that I lost my dog, Storm, last January of 2025. She was one of the greatest loves of my life. I had her for almost 16 years. Not only was she my companion who lived in my house and slept in my bed with me, but she was my hiking partner. We hiked over 1,000 miles a year together. So we were together a lot and we had a super special relationship. And about 3 years before she died, I would be driving around and this one particular song would come on. And I don't know why it came on more when I was at my cabin. And it would come on a lot of times when it was raining. But there's a song called Laughter in the Rain by Neil Sedaka. This song is not a new song. I didn't look it up before I came on, but I'm going to guess it came out maybe in like 1974. So we're talking about like 52 years ago. It's not a recent song. And when you think about where songs can play and what songs can play, there are probably millions to choose from, hundreds of thousands, multiple thousands to choose from. So when I hear a specific song in a specific way, it really touches me. And the reason this song was my song with my girl Storm was because there's a line that says, sharing our love under stormy skies. So I want to try something tonight. I've been trying to experiment a little bit with lives. Last week, I tried to show my pictures from Northern Lights and they didn't work. I want to try this again. I don't know if you will be able to hear the song, but I'm going to try. So I need to hear from you guys in the comments and see if this works. All right. I'm going to share this and play this. Okay.
There with the beat of the rain on the leaves, softly she breathes and I close my eyes, sharing our love under stars.
Yeah, it's supposed to be playing, but it's not. I don't think anybody can hear it because I can't hear it. Let me know if you guys can hear it. Anyway, I don't think that worked. So, in any case, I had to go to Home Depot. I was doing a project, and I had meant to go earlier in the day, and it didn't work out for me. And I kept on pushing this errand I needed to do at Home Depot later and later in the day. And I finally get to Home Depot, and I just have to get one thing. And I walk in, and I know where it is in the store, but I walk past the aisle, and then I turn around, and I swear to you, I had not heard any music when I stepped foot in this store. But as I walk down the aisle, I hear that line at that exact beginning, sharing our love under stormy skies. And it just tickled me that this song played overhead. But that's not it. Later on that night, I got a picture on my phone. You know how sometimes your phone will show you a memory from the past? My phone showed me a memory of my new puppy Blaze from that day a year ago. And I put it all together and I realized that was the day that I put the deposit down to buy Blaze. It was the 2nd of April, 2025. Like I cannot make this stuff up. That date wasn't in my memory. I knew when I got her in May, but I wasn't thinking about the day that I invited her into my life. But Storm was reminding me from the other side that she's still around. She knows what's going on. But how cool was that for me? Super, super cool. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. The other thing I want to share is that I've been really busy this week. For those of you who know my channel, you'll know that for a very long time I've been producing videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, long form content. And this week I decided to pull that back a little bit. And I'm producing videos on just Tuesdays and Fridays and doing shorts on all the other days. And this is such a much needed break because I've been under constant pressure and stress to produce on that level with all the editing that I do and the corporate job. So it's been really, really great. And it gave me a little bit of time to work on some other projects that I've wanted to work on. And one of them is I wanted to have some apparel for my store on YouTube for a long time. Like I started creating some of these designs a long time ago, and I spent some time this week refining it. So I would like to share this with you. But let me make sure in the comments that when I actually switched over and went to that song, even though you probably didn't hear it and I didn't hear it, did you at least see the screen and the lyrics? Let me know if that happened. Oh, you could hear it. Oh, how crazy. I wonder why I couldn't hear it. It's so nuts. Okay, I'm glad you guys could hear it. Did you know the song? It's an old one. But anyway, okay. So that worked. And it looks like if you could hear the song, you probably could see the screen. So I'm going to share with you a couple of designs. And I'd love to know if you were going to be interested in anything, or if there's something that maybe I'm missing that you would like to see that I don't have, that I haven't created yet. Because the way this works is I'm going to work with a company that prints on demand and ships directly to the customer. I'm not making these items very expensive. I've looked at all the other spiritual channels and looked at their prices, and quite frankly, some of the prices are just utterly ridiculous, like $40 for a hat. Are you kidding me? Like I'm not doing that. I want to have merchandise out there that people feel connected to the channel, and it's all around the slogan that I say at the end of every interview, which is waking up the collective, or thank you so much for waking up the collective. So it's all around kind of that collective idea. So I'm going to share this real quick. And then after that, I will be looking at the comments and getting to your questions. Okay. So I think I have to share this. Where is it? I think it's this. Okay. Here it is. All right. So These are some of the merchandise. I know I can't see anything that you guys are saying right now. I am hoping that you're seeing this screen. I'm assuming that you are. I'm going to actually check back in the comments and just make sure. Okay. Okay, yes, you're seeing it. Okay, awesome. All right. So here are a few of the merchandise. I have this where it says Waking Up the Collective, and it's on both sides of the mug. I also did this super cool design. Right now, I just have it on one side of the mug. Would it be better to be on both sides of the mug? So if you were left-handed, potentially you could see it also, and not just if you're right-handed. I also loved the tank tops, and I picked a couple of designs. I thought this was for the women a little bit more feminine. I wouldn't do this design on a man's tank top. I'd do something like Powerful Soul, but I may or maybe I'll even do this logo right here, this Waking Up the Collective, kind of like I'm doing on the sweatshirt. I also designed a white tank top, which I thought was kind of fun with that eye. And then the sweatshirt's kind of hard to see because it's not very big on the screen, but let's see. Yeah, maybe it'll let me make it bigger, but it's the same Waking Up the Collective. What about the size of that? Should it be bigger on the sweatshirt? Is it a good size? And then I did a couple of hats, one in black and one in white. It's embroidered, which I really liked. I thought that was so pretty. And I think that the size is probably pretty good. I also have a little tote that has Waking Up the Collective. And these are really good quality and the prices aren't too bad. I've got these priced at like 22.22. You know me and my synchronistic numbers. It just felt right to do that. 13.33 for the mugs. I also am playing around with the little candle. It's just a soy candle, no fragrance, 1777, a notebook. Now this one is a little different. This one says, "Thank you for waking up the collective. It is so needed right now," which is how I end almost every one of my interviews. And I like that one. I thought that was kind of cool. And then I actually created some stickers, and these are all stickers that are indoor or outdoor. So somebody could put it on their car, could put it on a water bottle, on a canteen, whatever. So I've got that one. I have one that's in white. I can't make it any bigger, that just says Waking Up the Collective, thank you. And then the last one is that girl with the stars. I think it's this one right here as a sticker. And it says Powerful Soul. And I also wanted to do a Powerful Soul maybe on a sweatshirt or a Powerful Soul on a tank top, more for guys, where it doesn't have any of the design, just only has the words Powerful Soul. And I can do soul as either an O or soul as a star. So I would love to hear from you guys in the comments if you like that, if you think that that's going to be something that would be good. So, okay. Let's check in with you guys. Let's see what you're talking about in the comments here. There's a lot of them. And I'm going to guess most of them were probably, sorry, your microphone isn't working. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Donna says, "I want to know what you truly believe about karma first." Oh, okay. Karma. You guys, I have a little bit of a hard time with karma. I feel that the way people in spirituality talk about karma is the way that people in religion talk about hell. You hear sayings like, "Karma's a bitch," "Karma's going to get you," "Wait till you get yours." And I think it's just another slant on judging somebody. What I truly believe about karma and what I have understood, and it's not like I went through a class, it's not like I saw a dissertation on this on the other side or anything. It's just a feeling that I get. I just think karma is cause and effect. I know that you will hear a lot of different people have a lot of different ideas about how karma works. You will hear people coming and talking about having to mitigate karma. In other words, having to exchange it, maybe paying it back, playing with it with somebody else in a different role. I don't know that I believe in karma that way. I really and truly think that karma is merely cause and effect. If we understand that we've perfectly planned what our lives want to be and we have the free will to execute on that plan, then everything is unfolding perfectly. And that's what's been communicated over and over again in these NDEs. On the other side, there's a perfection of the vision of what this life is, what we're doing here. It doesn't mean that we should be doing whatever we want and causing harm and being unkind to other people. I know that there's a ripple effect, right? I mean, that's pretty evident. You've heard people say that if you smile at somebody, it can change somebody's day. If you yell at somebody, it can change somebody's day in the opposite direction. If you listen to Vincent Blackmore talking about Edgar Cayce and all of those 14,000 teachings he went through, he talked about thoughts leaving us, crashing against wherever that thought ends, and then coming back to us, good or bad. And so I just think karma is cause and effect. So I know that there are a lot of ways to spin that and talk about it. I don't think it's a punishment system. I don't necessarily believe that we come back to balance karma. I do believe that what we create in maybe future incarnations are built on the current and past incarnations. Maybe part of the purpose is for us to get better at coming back and being more loving. Maybe it's to grow closer to how we really are on the other side. On the other side, we are in a state of being of love. And when we come here, we get to experience love. That's different than being in a state of being of love. So I know it's a long answer. These are always wind up being long answers because there are so many nuances to it. I hope I answered your question. I may have caused more questions, so feel free to elaborate on that one in the comments. Okay. Hi, Scott. Scott Lawler is on. Scott was one of my earliest interviews that I did. Scott has been blind. I don't remember, Scott, if it was from birth, but Scott has this ability to connect with the other side and create this beautiful, beautiful music. He's been participating in this channel since the very, very, very beginning. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Scott was like one of the first 100 people on my channel. So, oh my gosh, Scott, thank you for taking the time to be here. I'm so happy to see you in the comments. Always happy to see you. Let's see who else is here. Sorry, sometimes when I'm on these comments, as people are adding, they jump around. I don't know. Okay, let's see here. People are saying thank you for doing this. Thank you very much. Love the song. Who were 4 back then? Oh my gosh, I wasn't that much older either. Oh, my sister's on. Hey, for those of you who don't know, my sister is Stephanie Teeter, and she is the one who uses her intuition to reach out and get the guests that we have on the show. She's been doing that with me for quite a while now, and I am so grateful for her. I feel like she and I partnered to come into this lifetime and work together. Like we've helped each other in so many ways and so many angles. Like we know that we were destined to be together. We know we planned all of this, and I couldn't do my channel without her. I just don't have enough time in the day to do all the things that have to be done. And she is so amazing at following up with people and getting people scheduled. And so it's because of her that I have some of the amazing guests that I have. I occasionally do reach out to guests, but it's mostly Stephanie. So thank you. And I'm always amazed that she takes her time after she spends all day working on this channel and comes on a live when she could be spending time with her husband. But Steph, I am so grateful for you and I love you so much. So there she is. Okay. Kelly, Synchronicity was cool. Thank you very much. Juan is saying coffee mugs, please. Oh, good. You love these. This is awesome. How about I'm a proud member of the collective? Oh, I love that idea. That would be so easy to add. proud member of the collective. Okay, I love, love, love that. Thank you so much. This is why I share this with you guys. Okay. Let's see. I have to share. I was at okay. So this is Diane Montgomery. Diane says I have to share. I was at Target buying for my mom's house that just sold, and so sad. And this Fleetwood Mac song started playing. Oh, Diane, never heard it before. Had to Shazam it, and I knew it was so that was for you. Oh, how cool! I know that song. I've seen Fleetwood Mac in concert, I think 3 times. I love Fleetwood Mac. Super huge fan. That's awesome. Juan says, "Another good phrase is the question that you always ask at the end of every interview. Like, what do you know for sure? You mean that one? Okay. That would be kind of cool too. That should be on the notebook. You only have to write down things that you only know for sure." Okay, Donna says, I agree with you and asked because of the interview with Dr. Ray, and he said something about karma. I like your explanation on karma. Thank you. Yeah, I'm curious, Donna. Donna, you and I usually align pretty closely on our belief system. I mean, I've been interacting with you for a long time now. So I'm curious if that resonated with you with what you thought, or if you had some different thoughts about it. Like, I'm not an authority in all these, I don't have all the answers. I just, have done so much with the studying, and just some things feel right and some things don't. Just like the free will part, like, I want to tell it again because I think it's so worth saying. When my dog Blaze was a teeny tiny puppy, she was like 8 weeks old, 9 weeks old, and she had just started that super sharp puppy teeth biting stage. And she was scratching up everybody's arms, and it was awful. And I was in California with my shaman doing a 5-MeO DMT journey, and Blaze was comfortably sleeping in the car. And as I was coming out of that journey where my ego was coming back online and I was demerging from being the source of everything and coming back online to being me, I had this thought, because when you're in that stage before you're fully back in your body and really the medicine is leaving you, you are so powerful. The energy that you have running, flowing through your body, you feel like you could solve anything in the world. Like, I'll send healing energy to my sister. I'll send healing. Like, I somehow think I can cure my wrinkles. I could correct my vision. Like, I have all these thoughts about how powerful I am and how easy it would be. And I had this thought, wow, I'm so powerful. I bet I could make Blaze stop the puppy biting. And it was almost, I described the feeling like this. It was almost like somebody did this. And they said, free will is essential. Without free will, you would negate the game. That was the word that came to me. Negate the game. So we have to have free will, but free will can't have conditions. In a recent interview, somebody talked about free will and said, oh, well, I have to do this and I have to follow this person and this person to come back to heaven, and I have free will. I'm like, how does that even make sense? Free will means there are no strings attached. There are no contingencies. Hello, a Hitler, anybody could use their free will to create whatever they want within the collective. I mean, on Earth, people use their free will and change our game all the time. You could get mugged. Somebody can say something that you don't want to hear. People do all kinds of crazy things. But on the other side, they can't interfere with our free will. So, like me in that powerful state, I was told I couldn't interfere with Blaze's free will. And maybe that was because I was in a little bit of a higher state of being, because people do definitely infringe on our free will. But do they? How many things do we set up to experience? And it's just unfolding that we're experiencing something and we label it as negative. Again, these rabbit holes of where these topics and discussions and thoughts can go. Super deep. Okay. Donna is saying hello to Stephanie. All right, let's see if there's more questions in here. Oh, JJ said, JJ, share your name. What is your name? First time to the live. Oh, it's Beth. Is that what? Good to be. Oh, I think you were typing good to be here. Probably got typed. You know what's so crazy about these darn comments is you hit the wrong key and it releases it instead of going to the next line like you would expect it to. So funny. Okay, so I'm so glad. Like, welcome, powerful souls, to this live. This time is for you. So please ask me the questions you want to hear about. Believe me, I have plenty of topics I can talk about. I never have a shortage of things that I can talk about, but I really want to hear what you want to hear about. What do you want to know? What do you want to discuss? What do you want? What do you want? Okay. Have you had Vinnie Tolman on your podcast? Yes, a very long time ago. I am always surprised when somebody who has an NDE and has a rather large viewing on some videos is somebody who I interviewed before that went to a smaller amount of viewers. I don't know how many his video got, maybe a couple thousand, but we had a pretty deep conversation. So I really, really loved my conversation with Vinny. Vinny actually is a part of my collaboration group. He works with Living God's Light, and he does a podcast on his own YouTube channel with one of my other friends. So you can also check out his podcast because I think he'll go on lives and answer questions from people, kind of like what I'm doing right now. But yes, and I've met Vinny in person at Ions. He's a really nice guy, really good family guy, but his experience is pretty extraordinary. For those of you who don't know, he had ordered some type of like a protein powder, but it wasn't a protein powder. It was some type of a supplement, like a weightlifting supplement, and it had come from another country, and the instructions were in another language. And he took it, and they did not take it correctly. And they took it right before going into a restaurant, and he didn't feel well. And he went into the bathroom and he collapsed. And at the same time, his friend who also took it, who was not in the bathroom, collapsed. So they called the ambulance and they took his friend to the hospital. And like 45 minutes later, they discovered him dead inside of the bathroom. And he had an incredible NDE. So definitely worth checking out if you haven't heard his story before. But that's just, I don't remember exactly everything that happened in his NDE. What I do remember is there was an EMT who was brand new, who felt compelled to keep working on Vinny. He kept hearing a voice in his head that said to keep working on Vinny. And the people who he was training under were done working on Vinny, and he ignored the people that were training him, and he started the CPR again. And that's ultimately what brought Vinny back to life, because he listened to spirit, because it wasn't his time. So I thought that was really cool. Let's see. I resonated with some of what you said, but the karma had me confused. I was happy you asked him about coming back, a poor child. I knew where you were going with that question. Yes, Donna, I think you watched almost all of my videos, or at least a lot in the last year or so. So you probably do know what I'm going to ask. If we have free will, does that mean that many of us miss our real purpose? Well, if we have free will, does that mean that many of us miss our real purpose? Okay. Huh. I have to think about that one for just a minute. So we do have free will. So I'm going to explain it this way. We have a purpose. We all know before we come in here, and we're veiled to forget who we are and what we're doing here. We know that we have a purpose, and we come in with some knowledge, maybe. And let's say that you're living your life. Let's give an example of traveling. Let's say that you live in Chicago and you want to go to Las Vegas. You could get in a plane and fly as the crows fly and be in Las Vegas in a couple of hours. Okay, that's one way. You could also get in a car and you could drive to Las Vegas to take you quite a bit longer. You could also get in the car, drive to Las Vegas, but make a detour and stop in Phoenix, and then backtrack and go to Albuquerque, and then go to Las Vegas. I think that that's kind of how it works on these soul paths. We do have free will, and we come here to have these experiences, and we're being guided. And I think that our spirit team, which largely probably in my opinion, a large part of our spirit team is probably our higher self guiding us from the other side. In my experience of being on the other side, I had an experience with my higher self. I had several experiences with my higher self. And the feeling that I got was that the portion of the higher self that was incarnated into me, Lori, having this experience right now, would fit into my pinky fingernail. It was that tiny. It was just a tiny portion because the higher self is so powerful. It's doing many, many, many things all at one time. It's having many incarnations. You've heard people talk about you make a decision and then another dimension opens and now you have another you who got married, didn't get married, who took this job, didn't take this job, who moved to this city, who didn't move to this city. So multitudes of things that we can choose, right? But I also think that there's a component of us that at night when we're sleeping goes to the other side and confers with said spirit group or divine counsel. So let's say that your free will has you so completely off of your path that you're not living your purpose. Maybe you decide, okay, I'm going to have a near death experience to wake myself up so I can remember my purpose. Maybe you have somebody come in and intervene, but maybe it seems like you're not on your path because you feel like things aren't going well. But really, that was maybe the purpose of the life, was to have these certain experiences that from your human perspective didn't feel like it was going well. So I do think that we have help and guidance around our purpose because it's one of the reasons that we come here. So everybody has a purpose. It doesn't have to be a grand purpose. I remember connecting, and I don't remember if it was a medium who explained this in a book or in somebody I talked to. I can't remember the specifics, but somebody was doing a reading for a mother who had lost a child, like days old infant gone. And the infant came in the reading and explained that it just wanted to experience the birth process and the feeling of the love from the mother. And then it was done. And that was it. That's all it wanted to experience. So we don't really know what our purpose is. We don't know how well we're meeting the purpose. But I think that there's so much importance in you accomplishing what you came in to accomplish that even if you're off your path, you're getting guidance at night. DMT is produced in the pineal gland. I believe that trace amounts are released at night that let our soul leave our body. I think we're still tethered by the cord that holds us to the body. And I really think we go to the other side because it's not like we're going a distance. I think when we hear about heaven, the other side, it sounds like it's a distance, it's really far away. But I think it's right here and it's just a different dimension. It's just a different experience of what we are, what we can't see. Almost like how a bug could look at the light spectrum and see an iridescence that you would never see. It doesn't mean it's not there. It's just not visible to you or felt by you or experienced by you. But I think that everything is probably happening kind of like this in layers, or like this if we're talking about time as layers. So I know that was a long answer, which they always are, but thank you. Thank you for asking that question. It was a great question. Let's see. Oh, thank you for sending love. Thank you. Thank you. I super appreciate that. Neil said, "Ah, everybody's gonna pull up Spotify later and go and listen to that Neil Sedaka song." I swear to God, after Storm died, I had to put her to sleep the day before I left on my trip to Egypt. It was heart wrenching. It was awful, and I felt like I was leaving and I was going in a place where I couldn't grieve. So I spent 2 weeks of really not processing it, trying not to think about it, trying not to talk about it. And when I came back, like 2 days after I came back, I got in my car and that song was playing and it broke me. It broke me. So yeah, I can feel like that emotion of wanting to cry over that song. It didn't break me in the store. It actually just it's been a year, over a year. it's not like the sadness is gone, but it certainly diminishes over time. But it maybe turns into like such a gratefulness for having had a connection that strong with another sentient being, even if it wasn't human, because maybe she has been. Maybe she's this like super powerful evolved soul who came in to be like, okay, I'll be your dog. Why not? I mean, so many things are possible that we don't understand. I'm going to call Blaze in to see if she'll come and say hi to us. I don't know where she is. I think she's sleeping. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to pull this comment down. I enjoyed the interview with Andrew Cayce. Oh, so so Edgar Cayce is who you mean, I think, and Vincent Blackmore was the person I interviewed. I read all but one of the books he talked about. Wow, 15 years ago, and it changed everything. And I'm rereading now again. All right, Diane, I love that so much. Would you care to share maybe a couple of things that you feel that you got out of those books that maybe changed how you looked at things? Um, I would love to hear that. I think that always helps everybody. I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you want to share that, I would love that. Um, Juan is saying it's always great to share time with all of you beautiful souls. I really am looking forward to the day when I have a platform that I can really research and put together where I can see you guys and you can turn on your microphone, you can come on camera, and we can interact for real. Okay, I have one more idea I'm going to share with you guys. I'm thinking about doing I've been calling this a consciousness conference for a long time. And I'm thinking about doing the first one online only because it's safer and it takes a really, really, really long time to coordinate something that's in person because you've got to fly people in. You have to reserve places for people to stay. There's a lot involved and there's a lot of cost that has to be put up front for this. And I have some extraordinary people, as you know, who have been on the channel who have expressed interest in wanting to collaborate with me. And I want to call in those people. And I would love to do a consciousness conference on 11/11 because it's one of my favorite numbers. I just think it would be just such a great spiritual thing to do. And I'm wondering what you guys think about that. I don't know if it would just be like a 1-day thing where people could sign up to attend live. If you attend live, maybe you get to ask questions to whatever guests are on. Maybe it's like a full day thing where like every hour it's a different person who comes on. Maybe I'm the moderator and, they share whatever their wisdom is. Different kinds of people like near-death experiences with maybe different flavors, people maybe who have had past life regressions. I just interviewed somebody who is a noetic scientist who had a near-death experience. I interviewed her the other day. Her name is Aurelia. No, that wasn't Aurelia. What's her name? Stephanie, help me out here. Who did I interview yesterday? Oh my gosh, I interviewed 2 people yesterday. Aurelia was one, and this other lady, I want to say like Samantha, maybe it was Samantha. I can't remember. But anyway, she was super, super cool with all the science stuff around noetic sciences, which is just kind of the study of the occult from a scientific viewpoint. She was fascinating. I'm so excited about her interview. I'm actually going to release it not this Friday, but next Friday because I can't wait to edit it. When I'm excited to edit something, that's saying something. Not that I don't like editing. I do like the editing, but all right. Kelly said, I don't believe we have one purpose. Yes, I agree with you, Kelly. So I don't believe our free will messes that up. However, I do wonder if the universe continues to try to self-correct us if we veer off of our soul path. Yeah. I think we have kind of like collective purposes. I think one of the collective purposes that we are in right now in this great awakening, as many, many people call it. I've been referring to it for probably 4 years as the great awakening that was coming. And I think that one of our purposes is to see how we can respond in love. And I got to tell you, I had a crazy experience today. I spend almost no time on Facebook, but today I had to look somebody up. I was looking for somebody's contact information to reach out to them, not for the show, for something personal. And I had the person's name and the town that they lived in. And when I typed it in, a whole bunch of things came out related to that person's first name, and I started just reading through them because I'm looking, trying to find something. I was absolutely gobsmacked at the things that people were saying, at the way that people were talking. It was the most negative stuff I've ever seen. It was so judgmental. It was so awful. Like, people were calling other people out, but then at the same time, they were being worse in how they were responding in a public manner. And I swear to God, my feeling was I never want to open Facebook again. Like, listen, I don't like to watch the news so that I can keep my vibration high. That was the biggest downer that I've seen. I couldn't even believe what I was reading. Stephanie and I were just talking about this the other day. I remember the first time I went on Facebook, I was getting ready for my 20-year high school reunion. So this was 2007. And Facebook was new. I cannot believe that it's been almost 20 years ago. I feel like it was like 20 days ago I went on Facebook. Like, 20 years has gone past, and it is not what it used to be. It is not what I remember it to be. I just don't want to have any part of that. But I do believe that we have a collective purpose. And I think it is to see how we can respond in love, since we are beings of love. And I think it's something that we're all probably working towards. I'm a work in progress, as I'm sure everybody else is. I really try, but sometimes I don't always measure up to my own expectations that way. Okay. Donna said that would be great okay. Online conference would be great. I'm glad that you like that. Favorite numbers are 11 and 22. Consciousness conference with Lori Simon. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, Tammy, thank you so much. Tammy, are you back from doing your thing with your son that you were going to do? I'm curious about that. I keep asking you about it because I'm just so fascinated by it. I feel like I want to have a conversation with you about it. Donna said, please do that. You like that. Okay. Diane shared, what changed me was the connection to everything and really made me understand reincarnation. I want to talk about reincarnation after this. Also, another good book was Edgar Cayce's Story of the Bible. Wow. Oh, interesting. Okay. I want to talk about reincarnation. This has been coming up so much lately. One of the very first videos that I ever did, I reached out to somebody who wrote a book called Old Souls. Old Souls is a book written by Pulitzer Prize winner Tom Schroeder, and he studied with Dr. Ian Stevenson. And if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because you probably listened to the telepathy tapes, and his name came up a lot of times. And Dr. Ian Stevens or Stevenson, I can't remember. It's one of those two. He studied children across the globe who had memories of lifetimes that did not belong to them. I mean, really detailed. He knew that he had to interview and question these children before they reached the age of, I think, 10. And if they started to reach the age of 10, then different conditionings would come on and it would take a lot of those memories away, or they would fade too much. But there was so much evidence in this book. I went from picking that book up thinking, maybe reincarnation is real, to feeling that there was so much evidence for reincarnation. I don't know how anybody could deny it. It reminds me of when I was in school in the 8th grade and I had to do a report about tectonic plates because they were a theory. And there was so much evidence. I'm like, why is this even a paper I have to write? This isn't any theory. There's so much evidence. How are we even questioning this? I think it was just an old topic she hadn't taken off the list personally. But anyway, so reincarnation, I believe I see comments in the comment section all the time. And I think that they're usually coming from more of a religious background when they don't believe in reincarnation. And I kind of have had the same response to people when it comes up, which is like, I didn't realize that there was any question or debate around reincarnation anymore. Like, it is so evidential. There are stories, so many stories of kids who not only knew their name, but the names of all their children. They could tell you how they died. They could tell you where they lived, they would take them to a town that they had never visited, that they claimed to have been from in their last life, and they'll walk through town and walk right into their house. People will be there and they'll name all the people that are there that they've never seen or met before. Like, a lot of this happened in India and in other countries, but it is absolutely incredible what people have believed. One of my favorite stories is this kid. I did an entire Uncover Your Soul's Purpose section about reincarnation, and I talk about this story. There was a kid who kept on talking about all these movies, and he would say, I was I was famous. I was famous. And then the mom was just kind of like fooling around, and she was like, "Oh, did you write West Side Story?" And he's like, "No, I didn't write that." And he would say who did. It was crazy. And then all of a sudden she said, "What about Gone with the Wind?" And he was like, "You read my screenplay?" Well, it turns out that this kid had died, I think maybe on a tractor, like a tractor accident. He had written the play, or written the screen play for the movie, but it hadn't been produced yet. And somebody somewhere had the Oscar that he got for that script, and it was in this museum, and they took him, and he wept when he saw his typewriter. But he had tons of evidential information, that things that he remembered very specifically about that lifetime. Like, what are they connecting to if it's not a real past incarnation? I mean, I do get it. We have a hive mind, right? So I think that there are people like Tesla who have reached into the collective consciousness and pulled ideas and information out. So I think that that's possible. But I am absolutely convinced, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that we live many, many, many lives, many experiences. I think we've been everything: rich, poor, different nationalities. We may have even, I mean, people talk about seeing different entities from different solar systems that they've been in their past life, in their life reviews, or when they've been on the other side, they've been shown things. They've been shown maybe even being different animals. So I just reincarnation. But what's always puzzled me about it, and I think the reason I brought it up is because whenever I publish these videos about reincarnation, I get so excited about them. I'm like, oh, this is going to be so popular. People are going to love it. And then like 10 people watch it. Like, I just don't understand why some of this content on my channel hasn't been more popular, like why more people haven't gotten it. And maybe it's because people are in the earlier stages. I guess if you're just finding NDEs and you're just in the beginning of your spiritual journey, it takes time. There was definitely a time when I didn't believe in reincarnation. There was a time when I wasn't sure what happened when we died and didn't have any experiences on the other side. So, of course, these all evolve, but with no judgment for anybody who is where they are. I'm just always kind of surprised what people connect with and what they don't. But anyway, okay, let's see. Oh, I see. Okay, maybe it was somebody else. Oh, it's Donna. Donna's. Oh, hold on a second. Donna, when my son was Osiris, when my son Osiris was 3, and then okay, he said he had another mommy before. Oh my gosh, and he said, "Don't worry, mommy, I won't die until you're 86." Holy cow! Or you won't die until you're 86. Oh my gosh. I'm curious, you guys, if you could be given the information about when you are going to die, would you want to know? Would you want to know? I'm on the fence. Part of me wants to know. Okay, I'm never ever coming back. Earth is a beautiful planet, but people aren't very nice. Okay, sorry, Mr. I don't know what your name is, Mr. Beegs. Okay. I hate to burst your bubble, but did you watch Vincent Blackmore's interview where we talked about Edgar Cayce? Edgar Cayce did 20,000 readings. Only 14,000 are public. Vincent has read all of Edgar Cayce's readings. And coming back, like people that Edgar said, you are not coming back again. This is your last earthly incarnation. Now, remember, like 9,000 of these were medical readings, and I don't know if they spoke about only medical in those, or if they spoke about multiple things. Like if it's a reading, maybe you cover a wide area of topics about your life. But 20 people were given the information that this was their last incarnation. So I hate to break it to you, but like 99.999% of us are probably coming back again. And we sign up for it. It is not a prison planet. I am like that thing going around about prison planets driving me crazy. We plan it all. We are so powerful. It's almost an insult to say that we could be trapped in something. We are so powerful, you guys. This is why every time I come on a live, I address you as hello, powerful souls. Like, welcome, powerful souls. You are, every one of you, every one of you. Okay, let's see. I'll ask again if you missed it. Lori, do you believe in exit points? Meaning that we leave our body, it was an exit point where it was supposed to be. I'd love to hear what you think about that. Okay, this has come up quite a lot in the NDEs. I do not believe we have one exit point. I believe we have many, many exit points. And I'm so glad you asked this because of what I explained earlier. In my analogy about going from Chicago to Las Vegas, I talked about you could go super fast on a plane. You could take days, you could Forrest Gump it and run across the country and take, weeks to get from Chicago to Las Vegas, right? So what if you plan many exit points because you don't know how well you're going to be able to stay on the path to accomplish what you came to accomplish? So if you accomplish it sooner, then you probably have an exit point that you can take. If it's not working out and you feel like you still have more to do, you may skip some of those planned exit points. I also have had many NDE guests say that they took an exit point in their NDE and it was an exit point. They were not being forced, or they were being they were not even given a choice. They're like, you're done, your life is over. And then they decided and used their free will to say, I'm coming back. So maybe they had exhausted all the exit points and it really and truly was their time, and they made a choice to come back. So I think that there are many, many exit points. And I do not think, though, that anybody dies before their time. I really, really feel strongly that if it is not your time to die, you will come back like people do. I mean, how many people do you think have had near-death experiences now? We've only probably heard from a super, super small percentage. There was a statistic a long time ago that said on average, it would take somebody 20 years before they ever told a single soul about that experience. This is so much more mainstream in the last 5 years even. Like, I remember when I was starting to consume near-death experience stories on YouTube, when there were like 4 channels. Sandra Champlain was out there. Jeff Mara was out there. Melissa from Love Covered Life hadn't even started her channel yet. Sylvia Isaacson, if you remember her, she was on. And that's it. Like, I remember when I found Jeff Mara, he had 6,000 subscribers, and I found him and consumed and watched every single video on his channel. Go and try and do that now. That man, he and Mara are so proliferous. I think they do a video a day still. So NDEs have become way more mainstream, even in the last 2 and 3 years. And I think they will become even more and more so. But there's so many people who probably never, ever will publicly share that they've had one. And as our medical technology gets better and better, people are coming back more. They're coming back from heart attacks. We know how to do the Heimlich maneuver. We know how to give people CPR and bring them back from drowning. So how many people have had NDEs? Probably hundreds of thousands, probably millions. We have 7 billion people on the planet. Why is it not conceivable that there have been millions and millions who have had them? So I think exit points are real. They're talked about a lot in NDEs, and I think we have many. So I don't know if that aligns with what you believe, and I'd love to hear from you guys, but that's my 2 cents on it, or maybe 10 cents on it. Okay, let's see here. And we're just about at time because I'm gonna call this here in a few minutes. We've been on an hour now, and I want to respect everybody's time with the lives. And as always, I still have to do a little bit of editing and eat. So Donna said, "Yep, that makes sense." And Donna also said, "Yep, that's what I believe at exit points." Okay. So many people are waking up, and topics like these are becoming more and more accepted and talked about. It's great. I agree. I've got my first appointment with a well respected psychic this weekend. Any all suggestions are amazing. I'm picking out outfits, notepads with questions, and it feels like a first date. Oh, I love that for you. Okay. Stephanie, if you're still on, if you want to weigh in on this, because Stephanie is a medium as well, here's what I'm going to say. You have a set amount of time to have this this session with your medium. You need to set intentions beforehand, write down different things, and make sure, for God's sakes, that the session is being recorded. If it's not being recorded by the person who is giving it to you, like on a Zoom, then make sure that you are opening some kind of an app on your phone that will, like iRecord if you have an iPhone, or there's other different apps if you have an Android phone. But make sure you're recording the session, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to take copious notes and miss the essence of what is being communicated to you because you're so busy trying to write down everything that's being said. So that's housekeeping part of it. The second part is that I would highly recommend that you do your best not to feed the medium. And what I mean by that is you want a medium, and a well-respected good medium will give you plenty of evidential evidence so that you know beyond a shadow of a doubt who is communicating with you. Maybe they're good at names and maybe they're not, but they usually are good at descriptions. Some of them are better than others at bringing through the personality of our loved ones, but do not feed the medium. So if the medium says, "I have a man coming through and he looks like he's in his 30s and he has dark hair and blue eyes," and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I think that's my grandpa on my mom's side named John." Like, you don't want to say that. You can say things like, "Tell me more." So let the medium give you, and a good medium will tell you that they don't want to be fed. They want everything to come through. They'll be saying things that don't make sense to them but should make sense to you. The other thing is, don't automatically shut the medium down if they're in a vein that doesn't make sense to you. Sometimes with later thought, you maybe because you're a little bit nervous or you're just in this heightened state, later on you're like, "Oh my gosh, they said this and how did I miss that? Oh, of course they were talking about XYZ." So that can happen also. And then the last thing I will tell you is, if you have a particular person that you really, really want to hear from, watch your time. Let's say that you have a 30-minute session with somebody and they're going through and it's like 15 minutes into the session and the person you wanted to hear from hasn't gone through, and your aunt Tilda has taken over the reading and she is blabbering on and on and on about all these people in your life, and you don't even care about it because you had one person or two people that you wanted to hear from. It is okay to ask the medium if there's anybody else there who wants to come through. It's okay to shut a spirit down, to give yourself time. Do not let your time run out where you've gotten to 27 minutes past the hour and you suddenly ask that pivotal question to change to a different person and you miss out on what you wanted to get. So that's my advice on mediums. I've done lots of medium readings. I don't do them often. I usually limit them to about once a year. And I have, my person that I go to, and that's how I do it. That's the best way, I think, to get your money's worth so that it feels really good for you. But I'm excited for you, and I'd love to hear from you after you have it. Oh, it's 8 billion now. These numbers keep on changing. 7 billion, 8 billion. It's crazy. Yeah. Absolutely resonates with me with NDEs, mediums. How do you keep them on track from C? Oh, well, a good medium is not going to spend your money by talking about themselves ever. Like, I haven't had that experience. They're always going to be talking about you. And I guess the most polite way that you could do that is, if they're going on, you could just say, "Hey, do you have some spirits around you now that you can connect with?" Something like that. You can do it, in a nice way, but you shouldn't have to do it. It's probably not the right medium if they're wasting your time. That shouldn't happen. Okay. And then Tammy said, thank you. You're my sister from Mother Gaia. Oh, I love that. Great advice, Amy's Lord. Okay. Stephanie said great. Okay. Thanks, Steph. Okay, you guys, I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support of this channel. Thank you so much for joining me and for wanting to get any information from me at all. I just feel so blessed to be the person who does this. I feel so blessed to be able to have these conversations with people. 5 interviews this week. They feed my soul. I just feel like the luckiest person on the planet. I feel like I'm in love with my life, and that does not mean that my life is perfect. There are always things that go on, but I'm asking myself all the time, how good can it get? And I'm reminding myself that we are infinite beings. We can create anything we want. We're so powerful. We're so loved. We are love. And it's your life, and you're going to get out of it what you put into it. And I mean that by your thoughts and your actions and your deeds. So I know if you're here, you're already kind and you're already doing the right things and you're already awake. So congratulations. So as always, I want to say to you, thank you. Thank you, every single one of you who are watching right now with the live, who are going to watch this in the replay. Thank you for what you are doing to wake up the collective. It is so needed right now. Love to all of you. Thank you. All right, you guys, have a good rest of your night.